Hey there, tankers, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play World of Tanks. It's been a while since I've had such a nice ability to play on a nice computer here. So now I have upgraded from my laptop. This is the first video recorded on my desktop. Of course, I am having somewhat of a bit of a setup issue trying to figure out how to do the different audio that I want to do. So you might hear a little bit of echo, which is it actually coming the audio out of the TV speakers as opposed to coming out of my headset, which means that there wouldn't be an echo. But I believe it should be alright, I think. I don't think you're going to hear that much of an echo. Might take a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of working to get it done properly, but you know what? Need to push a video out here, so we'll make do with what we have here, and we'll see what happens in the future. Anyway, so we are playing ourselves tanks in a brand new tank. I now have a Nashorn, which surprisingly when I picked it up had everything already unlocked for it except the tracks. So all I had to do was unlock the tracks, and lo and behold, I was able to not just do that recently, but the gun I was able to equip right off the bat. So I have the top tier gun for this thing. The engine was already unlocked. I couldn't equip it though because of the what do you want to call it? The tracks not being available, but I had access to everything, which is nice. Must have got it from a different what do you want to call it? Different tank that also led into this one. But needless to say, I really dig the Nashorn. It does a lot of damage and it does it quickly, and wow, did Zorro get a massive hit. But anyway, so enough talk about the this, that, and the other. So this video, well, the entire video, not just this episode or this part of it, is kind of talking about, you know, carrying a lot of weight for the team and really being the two that do the massive amount of pretty much the lifting and the pretty much everything that happens. And a lot of it comes down to either your team's just not available at the right position, or they didn't have the opportunity to, or a whole slew of things that could have cropped up that could have caused you to not have, you know, fantastic games where, you know, one or two people do pretty much all the work. And so this is kind of an example of that, where we did a lot of the work. But then again, on the other side of the coin, I do want to emphasize that, you know, last night I was playing a game where I went, was it 4 games in a row where I did absolutely zero damage, either by RNG, making my rounds divot, or, you know, bouncing off of other tanks when they probably should have or could have went through, or just generally getting aggravated and making terrible decisions and terrible moves because of the simple fact that I was getting flustered with the RNG. And so, let's just suffice to say that, you know, we all have our bad games, but when we do have those two, you know, those excellent games where we do so much, it's one of those times where you just gotta, you know, at least enjoy the fact that you can do a lot in those games here and there. But, you know, granted, you get these great games, but then you're also given the bad games. It happens to the best of us, it happens to me, it happens to everybody else. It is what it is. So, you just enjoy the games that you have, and you make it work. Now that was a beautiful shot I had, that elk, but it just fell just so short. Then instead, nice easy target that is the Hellcat. So I'll go after the Hellcat, especially since he's going to do more damage to our team than anything else. So with the Hellcat eliminated, go back to fixing or focusing on other tanks in the region. Nothing cropping out yet though. Zorro and me are kind of team working it up, especially with that Tog, as we kind of called that one shot that I shot him through the window and then he popped one on top to finish him off. So a little bit of teamwork there. Of course, that's kind of what we do best, is we work together to try and clear out the enemy, just because we don't have comms with the rest of our team, so you want to be able to at least talk to one or two people, really improving your skill and ability that way. So what looks like is all that's left is just a handful of artillery and a few other things, but there's this RL way up at the top of the mountain here. That's over a 500-meter shot. Nail him dead on to kill him. As you see, he's at the edge of my draw range, which is, what, 5 blocks away linearly, and then 4 blocks away on the, you know, ABC axis there. So if you want to do the math to find out just how far of a distance that is, I'm not going to do it for you, but it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But yeah, needless to say, that's a very long distance. Very, you know, pretty good shot there. But I gotta thank the rest of the team that, you know, put him in that position for me to actually get the execution kill there. But needless to say, there's two. I say that a lot. I need to stop doing that. So yeah, there's 2 tanks left, one of which just got eliminated in a counter battery fire, and this last tank right here. Don't know if I can actually hit him. I do, but I think Zaro finishes him off. I might have put him down just enough, and just like that, beautiful 1800 damage game. And of course, we'll move on to one more here. Hopefully the audio worked out on this one. Still trying to make it all work, but yeah, we'll see what happens with the computer. Anyway, let's bounce into one other replay, and we'll call it there. A short video, but still good nonetheless. Alright, now we're bouncing into the second video. Oh man, tanks are so much more beautiful when I'm running in a very high... I mean, everything in this game right now is completely maxed out. And it is, you know, it looks that much more beautiful, needless to say. But that is simply because, well, I was running some hybrid medium-high settings, possibly, on the laptop. The laptop, while it had a great graphics card and should have been running close to max, it kept having these problems where it would have just the frame rate would just drop all the time for no reason whatsoever, every like 30 seconds, as you guys have seen multiple times on my streaming or in my videos, where it would just drop to like single-digit frames and then jump right back up to 40 or 50. This is running at a nice, lovely 60 frames per second, even under heavy load. And then, you know, while I'm recording, I'm locking it at 30 because that makes it easier for rendering and recording purposes. But needless to say, yeah, so... Oh god, I gotta stop saying that! Okay, anyhow, so... a lot of stuff bouncing off me here, and I'm apparently spotted, even though I didn't think it. So what I actually did real quick was I actually have a 32, 36-inch TV as my primary display right now for this desktop. So I just muted the TV because that's actually the speakers as well. It's all coming through the HDMI port. So I need to work on trying to pipe that audio through the sound card and not through the HDMI port. See if I can do that. I think I can do that. I just didn't install the proper audio drivers. I just installed the video drivers, which covered audio as well. So I might play around a little bit, and I might be able to get things working a little better if I do that. We'll have to figure it out. It's going to take a little bit of messing around, a little bit of playing, but I'll get it working one way or another. Either which way, worst comes to worst, I could always just mute the TV, except when I have other people talking. This could get interesting. I'm going to have to make this work. It will probably... You know what? Whatever. Not important to this video. So, yes. Anyway, we were called over here to assist because our team kind of had that area covered for the most part. There's not really much we can do. I was getting peppered here and there, and we were told that we could really use the help over on this end of the board because there is 4 big tanks over here, maybe a little more than that. So we swung out this way, bringing this little beast to bear. And again, little beast is something of a nomenclature here because it actually has a nice 400 damage cannon on it. So if I get anywhere remotely close to people, they're going to get completely wrecked. The Arl also has pretty decent front armor if they hit you in the actual whole plating instead of all those nice lovely little things up top like the commander's looky port, the 2 different machine gun ports, all that stuff. So... Whale on that AMX. Hopefully we can take him out before... Yes, he does get killed by Zaro helping us out there. Now we got a Tiger 2 dead ahead, bouncing right off me. Of course, now he's going to aim at me instead of just taking a quick shot at me. He's probably going to hit me square in the cupola again if he takes a shot. Instead, I'm just trying to take out his engine, possibly light it on fire. No such luck, though. Probably take another hit. If I'm lucky, I can actually glance it. So he shoots. He hits me. I had a shot, but I took too long to take it. Of course, he's backing up. I can tell that he's already reloaded, so he's going to get another shot at me on the side. I knew I could take it, but easy shot there to kill him right through the lower plate. And plus, I think my pin is good enough to sustain it anyway. So now we have a pretty high health, you know, T69, pretty high health ISU, me with armor, but next to no health. I'm still going to go ahead and charge around. Of course, teamwork playing out here as we're talking about it, saying what we're going to do, who's where, what to do, etc., etc. And of course, the important thing is watching the reloads and, of course, talking to each other about when to move, because if you get focused on a target, one of the main problems is you might not notice you need to GTFO, and so that's actually going to come into effect here with this T-34. I can one-shot him. It is possible, seeing as I do an average of, you know, something around like 400. I could potentially go through him. I bounced off the back of this, you know, VK, which shouldn't have happened. Instead, now I'm going to go through the front. Now you see there, I'm rolling low. I'm hitting for 360. So, was not enough I could have taken out that T-34 with, but it still worked out in our favor. Of course, now we're going to have to go and track around to go and find more targets. We seem to be doing fairly well here. I bounced enough shots off the front of this thing. The VK was not aiming at my cupola, and of course none of the other tanks went around. The T-69 though took a few hits, probably from the T-34 there, to knock him down from, what was he, about 900 hit points to much, much lower. So now we're both running really, really low. There's a 4 kill and a 3 kill on our team so far. So far our team, our platoon rather, has done a lot of work here. This guy's bouncing off me. Again, another VK taking a shot at me, but hitting the hole and bouncing right off. I get a nice easy shot, or not easy, but still good shot right through the dead carcasses there. I was actually not expecting him to come up and around, but hey, I'll take it. If he wants to appear right there, so be it. Now we're going to advance. Here's that Panther from much earlier, I think. I want to say it was the Panther from much earlier, because I didn't see any other Panthers on the enemy team. So time for a little revenge here. He's bouncing off me from the front. Now he's tracked out in the open. We have, I think it's Zorro. No, it's the T-69 behind me, so he needs to be careful, because one shot from the Panther will kill him. So he's just keeping him tracked. He can't seem to go right through him. Me, on the other hand, shouldn't have a problem. One more shot, and there you go. Finished off the Panther. Now, if nothing happens to all three of us, we'll all three get Brothers in Arms. Of course, I believe we are 2 kills short of getting Crucial Contribution, because right now we're sitting at 10 and need 12. So there are 3 tanks left on the board. The 25, which is way over there fighting the Indy Panzer, and then there's the 69, which has not been spotted, and the Super Pershing, which is somewhere near their base. So we're going to do our best we can to get up here, take them out. Now, working together again, we're talking about where they're at, what our hit points are, who can take hits, where we need to aim, so on and so forth. There is the Super Pershing, something we need to focus on here. So, we're starting to waylay into them. They take out one of our teammates, just down to the Indy Panzer here, and of course our SU. Our SU has more hit points than the rest of us, so we kind of want to rely on him to take some hits. The Indy Panzer way out there. Now, I should have shots, if I'm careful enough, right at his top. Now, he bounced a gold round off me, which is surprising. I didn't think I'd bounce a gold round from a Super Pershing to the front, but that means he must not really be aiming very well at me. I shoot the dirt there, which, again, shouldn't do, but lo and behold, we do have enough people to overwhelm him and take him out. Now what's left is just the 69. I kind of lost track of him, but I thought I had a shot there, which never worked out. So, there's the 69 right here. We're having to pelt him the best we can. See if we can't go through him. I'm hitting him hard. Our SU's hitting him hard. I still have a couple seconds on the reload here before I can take him out. And the Indy Panzer snipes that kill. Good for him. But we also just lost out in Crucial Contribution by 1 shot. Is what it is. Still, the 4 of us, including the Indy Panzer. He wasn't on our platoon, but he still did fantastic. Carried pretty much the rest of the team there. Me doing 3,000, I think all 3 of us did right about 2,000 to 3,000. I did not pay attention to what the Indy Panzer did damage-wise, but needless to say, we did a great job. I need to stop saying needless to say. It kind of gets annoying, even I admit it. So, that will film. Yeah. So, anyhow, that'll wrap up this video. I will work out the audio for the next video, which I probably need to record tonight because I'm going to try and push this one out immediately. But thank you everybody for coming out to this Let's Play on my World of Tanks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're closing in on episode 200, so any recommendations as to where to take it? I'm thinking individual tank episodes, just completely redo it as just individual tanks per episode, or also doing like user replays and stuff like that. So anyway, probably do one of each, but in the meantime, thank you everybody for coming out to this episode of my Let's Play World of Tanks, and I will catch you in the next episode.